Welcome to The Stitch.
And I'm Pam. We're happy you're joining us today.
The Stitch
is an online quilting talk show. Join us as we chat about all things quilty, fun stories about our own projects.
Our episodes come out twice monthly, and they're complemented by virtual sew-ins, and you can learn more about us at thestitchtvshow.com.
Today, we are filming in front of a live audience.
A live audience.
The Chattahoochee Evening Stars Quilt Show, Stars and Stitches. We are local here in Cumming, Georgia. In front of this live studio audience, we're going to be talking about why you should go rogue without a quilt guild and how to get the most out of quilt shows. So, what you been doing?
Well, you know what? We have been I feel like I've spent tons of time with you.
Yeah.
Like, normally we spend time together, but not as much the last 2 weeks.
Like maybe 3 or 4 times a month, and it was like a lot.
I know.
We road trips.
We road trips.
We air trips.
Oh, yeah, air trip. We did the plane together and stuff.
Yeah.
So this is Pam and I on a plane.
Yeah.
Like, we didn't talk like half the plane because I'm sewing and she's sewing and I'm listening to stuff and she's listening.
Occasionally I'd be like, check out this.
Look at this Instagram.
Nice.
So here's what we did though. We went to the AQI Show in Chattanooga.
We did.
Which was it was quite fun. And we visited Spool.
Yes, Spool, where maybe we bought fabric, which we'll talk about later.
Oh, I'm excited about the fabric, yes.
Well, you were always excited about fabric.
I'm always, yeah, why wouldn't you be?
I know.
It's fabric. Like, ugh.
Fabric's the best.
So we went to Spool and we went to the AQS show. What did we do at the AQS show? This is a big deal for Pam. Like, I just followed her around.
Oh yeah, she made sure I answered or asked all the right questions. But I was trying out mid-arm machines, sit-down mid-arm machines, and then I bought one.
She did, but we had to go to lunch first, and then I did the quizzing. Like, okay, do you like this better? Do you like this better? Did the package better?
Meanwhile, at lunch, I'm sitting there with my game face on, knowing I've pretty much made up my mind, but I was letting her ask questions to convince me that I'd made the right decision. But because, as my husband is fond of pointing out, he has no idea what's going on behind this.
Right. But I did predict which one you were going to buy.
You did.
I'm like, I think you're leaning towards this one,
Yeah.
and I was right.
So I did talk about that on the episode of Hip to Be a Square, episode 286 that came out. Well,
wow,
for
that's
us,
crazy. 286.
I know. That's a lot of
Man,
podcasts.
that's
6
a
years
lot
of
of
podcasts.
That's podcast craziness right
It
there.
is. But I did talk about my decision process and different things that influenced it. So if you guys want to know more about what I considered when I was buying that machine, go listen to that. We'll put a link to that in the show notes.
Sounds good.
So let us talk about our first topic.
Dun, dun, dun.
Going rogue.
Going rogue.
So
what do you mean by going rogue?
Okay, so on our last episode, we
Right.
talked about why you should join a guild. And then I thought, what if you don't want to join a guild? Why would that happen? Or why would you leave a guild?
Oh, true. You can, yeah.
So
But not CSE, because this is a great guild.
it's a fabulous guild.
Exactly.
But if
you
you're not
should
local here, it's hard to join, I would imagine.
I
I'm
would
just
say so,
asking.
yeah.
Confirmation? Yes.
Hard to join
Okay.
if you don't.
I
yeah.
mean, they'll take your money.
all
but-
day long.
You don't get the strong eye contact about finishing your community service projects from afar.
That's true. That's true. So what are your reasons for going rogue?
Well, I kind of alluded to it in the previous show, and one of the reasons it wasn't a guild so much as a community service group, and one was distance. I was just driving way too far. But the other thing was, I felt like my skills had grown beyond where I was for that group, where I needed a group that would help me further my skills, learn more, and that's just not something that group focused on. And I knew, knowing me, I will continue to do good sewing and community service work through what I make, and I could do that in another group. And so that's one of the reasons why I purposely sought out another group that would have more educational opportunities.
Right. Well, and I think the biggest reason you wouldn't be a part of a guild is you're not close to one. I mean, you could live in the country someplace and it'd be far away from where other guilds are. So you're going to have a guild online.
Online guild, yes.
Online guild.
Well, maybe there is a guild in your area, but you don't like the people. Because that's another reason why.
How can you not like quilters?
Well,
that's like crazy talk right there. I'm just saying, it is. Quilters are awesome. See, I have this side's agreeing with me.
Where my introverts at? That's why you don't join. You got to talk to other people. It's not my jam. I'm going to talk to a camera.
Yeah, we just talked.
You're all dead to me. I'm talking to the camera.
So, all right, so But if you join an online community,
Yes.
I mean, there's a lot of options.
Perhaps
The
a
Stitch
Facebook
TV.
group called the Stitch TV Show.
Could be.
Just a hint. So one of the reasons this quilt's hanging behind us is this was done through an online swap, and it's members of a little community that has grown up online around quilting podcasts. So mine is one. There are many others. We'll put a link to kind of the master list of
We
quilting
got some
podcasts.
members here.
Oh, we got some twilters in the house.
Yay! Filters in the house.
And so there's a closed Facebook group for it. That's popped up recently. Before we were on Twitter, so it was Tweeting Quilters. That's where Twilters came from. But it's just sort of this group of people that, chat, show projects, and even on the Facebook group where it's 75% quilting talk and 25% like neat stuff happening in my life. Like one woman just became a grandmother. We're like, go you.
Go you.
And so online groups are a great way to do that. So would you recommend Facebook, or how would you engage online?
I think Facebook's good. For me, online engagement starts at Instagram.
Yeah.
Like, I love Instagram because I can post on Instagram and it goes to Facebook, but I get all of these. I see tons more quilts on Instagram. I follow more, and now Instagram does video, so it's really fun that you're seeing little videos pop up. I like Instagram, but there's pros and cons. I mean, yes, I get to see more quilts than even if you belong to a guild, because the amount of quilts that you can see online are just
bananas.
Incredible. And you don't get to see as many at a guild. I mean, you get show and tell, which is my favorite part of the guild. I'm gonna get trolled for hitting my mic.
Yeah, don't do that.
So, you get to see tons of quilts at show and tell, which I love, but just the amount of quilts that you can see online is more.
And I think, too, even though there may be a guild locally for you, it may not be your aesthetic. Like,
That could be it, too.
Like, I'm probably not going to be part of a group that focuses on reproduction fabrics, because that's not the aesthetic that I'm drawn to. But online, I can find bright, colorful quilts. Hooray!
Yeah, I think that's you're drawn to a certain aesthetic, but also I think that there's people that get together and talk about certain topics. And let's face it, guilds meet once a month. I need some quilt hits a little bit more than once a month. Like, I need to look at quilts more than once a month. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've got to be seeing the design, and I'm just addicted. It's a problem.
Yes. Because you're in 4 guilds?
I'm in 3 guilds. 4 guilds.
4.
Oh, shoot. I'm in 4 guilds. So going rogue does not, I don't get.
No.
I have to do. But if you were going to go rogue and you weren't in an area where you had to be that you could be a part of a quilt guild, I mean, definitely look at stuff online. The Modern Quilt Guild's online. There's other stuff online where you can see quilts and you can see things that are going on in the quilt world. But also, there's a lot of community. If your heart is community service.
Oh, yeah.
There's tons of church groups and community groups and charities that you can get involved with, from, DFAX takes quilts to the pillowcase
Battered
group,
women shelters.
Battered women, cat shelter. I mean, there's all kinds of places you can sew and give stuff to. And then that's a community that you're passionate about.
Yeah.
And I think to me, that's what quilting is it's a community that you're passionate about this thing that we do, which is crazy if you think about it.
So it's not just taking perfectly good fabric and cutting it up and sewing it back together?
No, it's not.
No.
It's taking perfectly good fabric, petting it for a really long time.
Looking at it, admiring it for years.
Maybe thinking about cutting it up, sewing it back together, and then, giving it away to someone who'll love it.
Perfect. What?
So there it is.
So I had one other note on here.
Okay.
Because I specifically wanted to address, and we talked about it briefly, how do you handle it when you may have a interpersonal conflict, whether it's a different communication style or you're just not jiving with a group? What is the point at which you say, I've had enough. I cannot go and be with this group. I mean,
you don't go.
You don't go.
You don't go.
Do you try to break off a secret sector?
No. No. It's like, when do you stop reading a book that you're bored of?
Oh.
Like, how long
Chapter
into the
3.
book do you go? I think I go way too long.
I hope that book is not only 4
chapters. It could get
chapters.
better. No, it's not your jam. These aren't your people. You go find your tribe. Find your tribe. Go find other people you can
That's
deal
the best
with.
thing, because when you're going through grade school and middle school, you're like stuck with these people because you live next to each other. And then you get to college, you're like, look at all these amazing people that are like me and like those weirdos back home.
Well, everybody comes into their jam, I think, at different times. So
you're saying one meeting and you're out if you don't jive?
maybe more than one meeting.
2 meetings.
3.
3 meetings.
Done. First meeting, you're like, ooh, I don't know these people. I'm kind of shy. Like, I am an introvert. Seriously, people don't know that, but I am. The second meeting, you're like, okay, I kind of get the rhythm of it. Third meeting, you have the opportunity to meet people and come out of yourself.
Okay.
3 meetings.
3 meetings.
There you go. Try it for 3
Wait,
months.
so if you do lunch with them or do a sew-in, does that count as a meeting? Okay, so
Yes,
y'all totally going to
sewing
engineer
counts.
this. I'm going to put it on my spreadsheet, my Gantt chart, and we're going to lay it out.
No, you just got to kind of go and
Oh, feelings. Ooh.
feelings. Nothing more than feelings.
Are we singing now?
Not
Is this
really, 'cause
our very
no.
special musical episode?
We should write a quilt musical. That would be awesome.
Should not.
Yes, we should.
We
It
should
could be
not.
the Hamilton of,
You need to lay off the Hamilton. You need to just
do
back
you
it
know
down.
how like I'm so.
Her husband is giving me the thumbs up on backing down the
I've
Hamilton.
listened to Hamilton so many times, it's crazy. I'm not throwing away my shot. Anyway, go ahead. What's our next
Oh my
topic?
gosh. Well, before we get to our next topic,
Okay.
we are going to show you guys some close-ups, some of the signature blocks in the quilt here, and we will be right back with our next topic.
Exactly. All right, so our next topic is getting the most out of quilt shows. We're at a quilt show today.
Woo!
So how do you get the most out of quilt shows? And I don't know, because this was your topic, so I'm not real sure like what we're supposed to talk about. So tell
I'm a
me.
topic ninja. I just like to slip them in, and she
does.
doesn't know what's happening.
I know, it's scary. So how do you get the most out of quilt shows? Like, what's your approach?
Well, so I always go with a plan, because that is me.
I have no plan.
So
I
I
walk in the
know-
door, that's my plan. Like, I come in the building. That's the plan.
Math, art.
So cool.
So, and maybe my plan is basically the same for every show. Feel free to write this down. I'm going to look at some quilts. I'm going to check out some vendors. Now, AQS was specific because I knew part of my plan was I am trying out mid-arm machines
Yeah.
and make a purchase decision and commit to buy.
Yeah.
And that was the most important thing I wanted to accomplish at that show. But even when it comes to inspiration, so I've been to the CES show before, and I know it's a community-driven show. I know a lot of the quilts are my favorite kind of quilts, the kind that are excellent for quilt forts. I love a good quilt fort. I might make...
Okay, I will admit this in front of this live studio audience. I have never made a
Get out.
quilt fort. I've never made a quilt fort.
I would like to
Sorry.
announce that this is the end of the Stick TV show.
Never made a quilt
It is
fort.
a quilt too
ever.
far.
Never made one. I'm not even sure the technical
Guess what our
way.
holiday party is this year, Lynn? It's quilt fort.
I'm
I'm gonna get out all the
right
card tables.
I don't even know how to make one, seriously. I mean, I'm assuming chairs are involved and
And
quilts.
a card table, some couch cushions.
But, oh, there you go. See,
mean, that's the
there's
beauty
probably
of it.
technical of this that I'm not.
I'm gonna have you watch the episode of Community where they made like a giant sheet and blanket fort throughout the whole campus.
Can we have the little lights in it?
Yes, we could put up some
All
fairy
right,
lights.
Then I'm in.
Excellent. All right.
I'm in.
So, getting back on topic.
Yeah, really. So what do you do at a quilt show?
Well, so I will know, okay, do I know the organizers? What kind of quilts can I expect?
do you always go with somebody?
Depends.
Like sometimes we go together, but we don't always go.
So
together.
usually if I'm not with you, I want to find someone that matches my browsing style.
We do not match the same browsing style. How can you say that?
But we
are
have
so
compatible,
opposite.
compatible maybe, not
Oh, yeah.
matching. So my style is like quick run through everything, catalog what's there, what do I want to go back and look at more if it hasn't, and if it didn't grab my attention, or
You're
if
not
I
going
know I'm
back.
trying to fill up a day, so my mother-in-law mother-in-law and I have very different browsing styles. She will stop and study each quilt for like half an hour, and I'm like, we got a lot of quilts to see. You're gonna need to pick it up. I will meet you at the end.
No, when we're walking, seriously, when we're walking through vendors, like, because I smile at people.
Oh, no.
As you do.
No.
You smile at people.
No, that's how they suck you in.
So I get stopped by the hand lotion people and you need the, and I'm sitting down and she's like 3 booths ahead of me.
TikTok.
Going, where are you? I'm like, I'm sorry, they stopped me.
Same thing happens to me in a store. Like if I'm like, I need to buy 2 shirts. I will go to the store, I will find 2 shirts, and I'm like, I think these are the 2. And if I catch myself like, ooh, look over there, ooh, look over there, within 10 minutes, I will be like, this is the most disgusting thing that I have ever done, and I'm leaving buying nothing. And I just know me, like, well, I've gone too far, time to get out.
I'm like a squirrel. Oh, look. Oh, wait, look. Like, that's how I go to a show.
Oh,
Like,
so
bright colors totally distract me. Oh, look over there. There's a bright color.
I go through it the same way I go through the grocery store.
Oh,
I shared this with a guild
you
last
go through
week.
the grocery store. You know what aisle you're going to be at before you're there.
Absolutely. I write my list according to like, ooh, produce goes upper right on the list.
This should have
Meats
been going
go upper
rogue for
left.
me.
And then I'm like, all right, go into the store, turn to the right. I can't go to her grocery store because her grocery store is laid out the inverse of mine. That's jacked up. No, I get lost. I'm like, why is the frozen in the middle? What is happening?
That's a different story though. Going to a grocery store that you're not used to,
That'll jack you up.
it does jack you up. Like, I get that. I get
So-
that. But, I want to
But
say
I go
this,
in, I
though.
turn to the right. Whatever's
One
on
of
the
my-
right, that's my same thing. Show, she's like, are we looking at quilts first or vendors first? I'm like, what's on the right? We're going there first. That's how I go.
I always like to look at the special exhibits.
I do
That's one of
those.
my favorite things at the Quilt Show. I mean, I understand the quilts are in competition, and not all the quilt shows have competition, but the quilts are in competition, and I like to see those. But I like the special exhibits. Like the special exhibit if you guys haven't come out to the show or if you've missed the show, this is an awesome special exhibit over there.
And that's Fused Fiber Arts?
Fused Fiber Arts, Modern Quilt Guild, and One Idea, 3 Perspectives. I got to help over here. And I got it right. Woo! Woo! And they're awesome. I love the special exhibits.
I love them because they're studies in the same technique.
Or the same fabric, or the same,
Because even
like
saying
the
like,
Lion
ooh,
King.
large wall quilts. I'm like, that could mean a lot of things.
It means a lot of things.
But getting the study of one idea, many perspectives, really helps you kind of explore and figure out like,
I like that idea. And at the AQS show, and I know this is a traveling exhibit, but Cherrywood Fabrics
Oh, yeah.
they did the Wicked exhibit a couple years ago, and this year is the Lion King exhibit, where you bought a bundle of Cherrywood Fabrics, which if you guys have never touched Cherrywood Fabrics, never touched it, you're missing out. It is the most luscious.
Just killed my name tag.
You did, like it's dead. Look,
This is live.
done, done.
Oh, dang.
But Cherrywood Fabrics, they gave you a bundle of Cherrywood Fabrics, and then they gave you a topic, and it was the Lion King, and it had to be a certain thing. Those Lion King quilts
Amazing.
are incredible. They were incredible. And actually, some of the people in this guild, and there are some hanging over there that are in that exhibit, and it was just great. Anyway, I like the special exhibits, so that's always important to me. And of course, you want to go see the vendors, because, shopping, fabric.
Even if you have to enter it in your spreadsheet, on your stash reports, as I do.
Okay, those of you who don't know, every Sunday Pam comes out with a stash report where she reports how much fabric she bought and took in and how much fabric she used during the week. See, these are my people, man. Like, I just bring in fabric and I'm not even shy. My husband, I don't hide stuff in the trunk. I just brazenly go, I bought new fabric. Here it is. It's awesome.
I don't know that my husband even walks through the room. And it's an open floor plan in my house, so you could like just do a big old lap and walk through the sewing room. I don't think he goes back there. I think he'd be like, oh, you got fabric?
I don't know. He's like,
Yeah.
What did you buy today? So anyway.
Yes.
So I like shopping, especially, and then of course the show itself. Winner's circle is always good. Like if they have a winner's circle.
Oh, yeah. AQS is good about that, where they bring all the
yeah.
winners to the one central area.
And then you just drool. Like.
And then if you're Lynn
literally.
and me, we're like, wait, how did they do that? And we're like leaning and trying to look behind
to
it
look
because there's no
behind.
white glove ladies around.
Yeah, there's no white ladies at the AQS show.
Yeah, they're
don't show you the
around,
backs.
but they won't lift them and show the back because they've said that will increase wear on the quilt, and they want to respect the quilt makers and the quilt themselves.
Yeah,
so they don't do that.
said that their thing would fall down. That's what they told us one time.
That's some
They
weak
said-
sauce
I'm
to
like,
have
that's
your
not even right.
pipes fall
yeah.
down.
So your pipes aren't going to fall down. That's not true. I don't agree.
That's a lady problem right there. Your pipes fall down.
All right. So we do have an exciting announcement.
We do have an exciting announcement.
So what's the exciting announcement?
The exciting announcement has to do with the fabric that we just touched.
Dun dun dun.
So while we were at the Chattanooga AQS show, Lynn and I bought matching bundles of fabric, 12 fat quarters. Ooh, I left the price tag on. 12 fat quarters. We agreed on this, and we said, we should do a challenge. Because when we first started this show, over a year ago now,
I can't believe it's been a year. That's
we were
crazy.
like, challenge craze, and then we're like, boy, that is exhausting. We are not doing that again.
That's a lot of work.
But then, it's been a year.
And we were buying fabric.
Like childbirth.
And I was like,
You're like, I could do this
hey,
again.
let's do this again. This is a great
And
idea.
then you realize you're getting into
Oh.
zone defense instead of man-on-man coverage. Oh my gosh.
Exactly.
So anyway, we are going to do a challenge where we've got identical bundles of fabric.
Right.
And then we went to Spool and bought this cherrywood collection to coordinate because I'm like, this is way too busy for me. I'm going to just throw some white with it.
Do you think Lynn picked this out?
Yes, Lynn picked that
Lynn,
out.
I cheered for this one.
And then I picked this out.
It was a boring bundle had she chosen. Just saying.
It was low and dirty, low volume, kind of just a little bit of dirtiness with the quilts and the prints.
That's going to be one of our low and dirty.
Yeah.
We'll have to tell people about that later.
We will.
So this is cherrywood fabric.
So we are only allowed to use these two bundles for the top. Now we can use anything we want for binding and backing. We weren't going to go crazy and have one-sided quilts because that's not helpful.
I don't know what I'm doing.
I do too. So we are going to work on these independently, not show each other.
Super secret.
And then in a very special Christmas episode,
Yes.
because that's the holiday we celebrate in December, we will have an unveiling of our two quilts and what we made out of the same fabric.
Very cool. I'm looking forward to it. I already bought a specialty ruler.
Good.
To do
I am
mine.
not shocked that she bought a ruler for this.
I like rulers. She came over to my house and sewed a couple of nights ago, because we do that. And she goes, I need a ruler. And I'm like, okay.
Let me look at these three giant totes to see if I have the one you're looking for.
I'm like lifting out the totes going, it could be in any one of these
It's like
four
a clown
things.
car. Rulers flying.
I'm like, surely I have what you're looking for. Going through all these things.
And she did. And then I realized,
did.
I like her specialty ruler better than mine because, here's
It
why.
was awesome.
Because I have two rulers to do, I was making flying geese. So I have the one that makes the wing and the one that makes the center. And
Which I
her
have
ruler, you flip it to one side, it's the body, and you flip it to the other side, it's the wing. And I'm like,
It's a Kimberly Imo ruler, actually.
It's two
very
rulers
nice.
for the price of one.
Just saying, it was a
But I
good
can't buy
ruler.
that one because I already got these. So anyway, there you go.
Anyway.
Ooh, Bonnie Hunter has a new one out too that does the same thing.
Oh, does it really?
Yes.
We love Bonnie Hunter.
I do love Bonnie. Hi,
She's
Bonnie.
awesome. Hi, Bonnie. She watches our show. All right, so, which means everybody should watch it because Bonnie Hunter watches.
Totes.
Totes, yeah.
Well, they're
All right.
watching it.
Well, they're watching it.
I don't think they're
here.
going to come back and watch it again on YouTube, but
But
thanks.
they should. Yeah, just for fun. All right, so that's all that we have today, right?
Yes.
Okay.
This episode 203.
Today's show is brought to you by 77 Peaches Enterprises, your one-stop shop for creative support.
We'd like to thank 77 Peaches, Big Think Productions, Cotton Art Studio, and Hip to Be a Square for being part of The Stitch. You can find links to their show sites on our show site, thestitchtvshow.com. If you're interested in sponsoring, please email us at info@thestitchtvshow.com.
Well, that's all we've got for this episode. And if you've enjoyed the show, please like us on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Google Hangout, and share it with your friends.
The next virtual sew-ins, Friday, October 14th at 7 p.m. U.S. Eastern, broadcast on our channel here on YouTube and on Google+. My podcast, Hip to Be a Square, is out every Friday.
And you can email us with questions, comments at info@thestitchtvshow.com. or buy our patterns at the shop, thestitchtvshow.com.
Shop.thestitchtvshow.com.
Yes.
All those
sorry.
details and more can be found on our website. Guess where? StitchTVShow.com.
Show.com.
Tune in next time for more quilting chat with friends.
Doo-doo.